Hey, Blabberman here. How's my hair look? Screwed up? Messed up? I just got up. Hey, I just, when you find something that's new, and I didn't know this is easy to do YouTube nowadays, man. I'm like, damn. So I'm going to go crazy for a while. And what it is, I don't know. Like I said, I'm over in Nikolaev, Ukraine. I'm going to be seeing my woman tonight. But this won't work where I'm going, so I won't be able to. I don't, I don't, I'm not good with technology. Okay, I suck. I have a flip phone. I don't even have a smartphone. I'm about as, I'm gonna have to change it. Looks like, I just have a flip phone from Walmart. That's what I use, and I'm very bad at technology. Very bad, very bad. I actually want to start regressing instead of progressing. I do. I want to regress even more. I want to regress back where it's safe. I want to progress over. I want to go back where it's safe, man. I want to go simple life. That's maybe it's because I'm getting older, but well, this new. I don't know. It's just I'm a creator. I'm a creator. I love creating. I just love it. If it's been created, I'm not interested in it unless I created it. What should I mean? I guess I might as well start out by maybe introducing myself. That'd be a good thing to do. I'm not gonna give my real. I don't want to give my. I really don't want to give my real name. I don't want to do all that stuff because you got a lot of. I just don't. Just call me Blabberman. Call me. I'm gonna change my. I'm gonna change everything. I'm gonna call this station Blabberman. Uh, Blabbertube. I'm gonna call this Blabbertube. So that's gonna be the name of this. I'm gonna change the name and everything. Blabbertube. Or I'm gonna come up with a better name than Tuba Shank. I'm gonna think of it. Rename everything since I know it's easy to do. But let's see. Do I want to give anything away about myself? What you got to be careful what you say on here, man. You really do. You really do. I've learned that. So what do I want to start off with? Well, yeah. What do I want to talk about? Now that I see, it's funny because you find out, and then you get like the whole time you've been wanting to do this, you think all these things you ever wanted to say, ever wanted to do, and once you have the chance to do it, you start thinking about those things you wanted to say, and then you think, well, maybe now that everybody, more people are going to be able to listen to me in real life, maybe that, maybe I don't want to say that now. You start thinking because now it's reality. Once something becomes reality, you have to think harder because if it's in your mind, it's safe in your mind. You're not going to offend anybody when it's still in your mind. But once it comes out of here and out there, uh, gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. That's how I'm learning. That's what you learn. That's what you learn. You just can't sprout anything off, man. Unless you have a death wish. Which, but anyway, so what am I into? Well, I'm like I said. Okay, my grandpa was born in Alabama. My grandpa, I'm Slovak. I'm mostly Slovak. My grandpa was brought over from Slovakia to Alabama, Brookside, Alabama, in 1900. He was born in 1904 in Brookside, Alabama. He was brought over. His family was brought over to work the coal mines of Brookside, Alabama, and his dad was brought over. My great grandfather, his family were brought over to work the coal mines, and my grandpa. Yeah, my dad told me a story. My grandpa's dad never gave him a present ever. He never got a birthday present. On his 12th birthday, he got a lunchbox. On his 13th birthday, he got a lunchbox because he was going in the coal mines. He was 13 years old. This is like, that would have been 1917. So it was back then when child labor laws weren't around. So he was down in the mines when he was 13 and, worked in coal country, Brookside, Alabama. If you ever go to Brookside, it still looks the same as it did back then. It's probably it belongs in Ukraine. I mean, Brookside. It looks, they have an authentic Russian church there. They have Russian Fest there, November 1st and 2nd. They do a Russian Fest, and Nicola, they call it Nicholas Fest, Saint Nicholas or something, Saint Nicholas Fest. But it would fit so well in Ukraine. Brookside would fit, because Brookside's dilapidated. Nikolai is dilapidated. It would fit. It would just fit like a, you know, perfectly. Fit like a glove here at Brookside, Alabama. I love it though. I love it. I love hardy country now. I love like my favorite part of Alabama is the northwest corner. It's man. It's hardy country, man. Moonshine's got the freaking mountains, got the backwoods. I like that stuff, man. The moonshine looking. I like that. It's got a lot of character, a lot of you know, just. has freedom written all over it. But and I was born in Cleveland, Ohio. My grandpa moved up there, and I think he got. I think my great grandfather moved up. I think they moved up there because they went to the steel industry because the coal mining was drying up in Alabama. So they moved up to Cleveland to get in the steel industry because that was the next big thing going on. So I was born in Cleveland, lived there till I was 10, then moved up to Minnesota. My dad, he was a big shot for Sears. And another funny story is when we were in Cleveland, my dad was getting transferred to a store up in Minnesota. And my dad wasn't very good at geography back then. He didn't really realize where Minnesota was. So he just took the job because he wanted his own store. In his mind, he thought Minneapolis was where Milwaukee is. That's where he originally thought Minneapolis was where Milwaukee is. That's what he was thinking. He didn't, he like I said, he really never looked at maps. Well, he went home. He looked at a map. He saw where Minneapolis was. He went, oh shit. He went, oh shit. I don't know what was that far up north. But we went up to Minneapolis. We lived up there for about 3 years, I think 3, 4 years. Then he got transferred down to Chicago. He got even a bigger job. He got to be the Midwestern Territorial Manager for Sears. So we moved down to Chicago. So I was 10 years old and I moved to Minnesota. When I was 13, we moved down to Chicago. Actually, a little north of Chicago and Waukegan area. And I went to high school in that area. I lived there 11 years of my life. Met a lot of good people. Met my best friend, one of my best friends, Paul Quinn of Automag. Amazing man, amazing, talented, all around guy. So, like I say, I think that's the best thing I got out of being in Chicago is I got to know a gang of guys in a band named Masada. That was the one thing I could say that that's one thing me personally, that's what I got out of it. But anyway, so lived in Wisconsin for a little bit. La Crosse, I love La Crosse. And my favorite place in up north is La Crosse, Wisconsin. I love La Crosse. Lived there a year. Beautiful. I liked it. Wisconsin Dells. Lived there. Worked there. A couple of places. And then I started going on my own. I started going here and there. I mean, kind of, I guess you could say, a loner for most of my life. Never really clicked with people, I guess. I don't know. I've always pretty much been on my own. And so I lived in Indiana for a while. I liked Indiana. People in Indianapolis are as nice as people say they are. I lived, like I said, I lived in Mississippi. I love Mississippi, Alabama. I call it Miss Bama country. I nickname it Miss Bama country. I love it. I love it. I do, man. It's like, like 15 years ago, 16 years ago, I moved down to Orlando, Florida to work for land development business. They develop property, and that's why I got sent down there to work land acquisition for a land developer down in, outside of Orlando, a city called Claremont, Florida. And so I went down there, went down to Florida, and like at the time, I was pro suburban. I was totally pro suburban. I was a total suburban. I thought the suburban was the place to live. I frowned on rural towns. I made fun of them like everybody else. I always made fun of the country people, just like you're pretty much programmed in the suburbs to do. I hate to say, most people in the suburbs are programmed. You're programmed. You're not educated. So I came down. I was a suburbanite. I was a full-fledged suburbanite when I moved down to Orlando. And I was all about that crap. And I've always been a kind of a pioneer adventurer. I've always been a loner. Loners are pioneers. We're pioneers. I don't. That's why we are loners because we want to pioneer. And when you pioneer, it's better if you do it alone because then you can, when you find something, like when you were someone else, like a pioneer wants to do everything 100% themselves because the only way to go 100% is to do something yourself. That's the only way you can go 100% on something is to do it yourself. If you have somebody else, you have to do some of it their way, which means you can't do it your way 100% because you have to do it 50% because you're going to do the other 50% the other guy's way. And the more people you have around you, the more, you know what I'm saying? Then you got to help, you got to do it a little bit the way this guy wants to do it, a little bit the way this guy wants to do it. When you're on your own, you can go 100% your direction. When you have three guys, sometimes you go three different directions. But when you're on your own doing something, you go your 100% direction. That's why pioneers, you're better off. I think that's why a lot of loners are pioneers because They don't want anybody to take them off their course. They want to stay on their course. So, you know, yeah, I was in Orlando and I was just looking at a map of Florida. And I want to go to, I'm like, look at the places I'd never heard of before because those are the places I wanted to go, the places I'd never hear about, you know? Like, you never hear, like, down by Fort Myers, you hear about Fort Myers, you hear about Naples, you hear about Tampa. You don't hear about Port Charlotte so much. There's an area called Port Charlotte, Florida, Punta Gorda, North Point, Northport, And there's an old saying, a lot of times the good places you do find yourself. You don't hear about them advertised. And here's another thing. The more you have to advertise something, the cheaper it is. Because there's an old saying, a good product sells itself. But anyway, I decided I'm going to go to Punta Gorda. Screw Fort Myers. I've never been to Fort Myers, but I hear so much about it. If you hear so much about a place, it's like it kind of kills the reason to go there because you go down there and you already know you're going to see what you expect to see. And I don't like that. So went down to Punta Gorda. I liked it down there. I do. That's when I realized I kind of like rural places because the less people, the more of everything there is for you, the cleaner and fresher the environment, the less people, you got more people and these trample everything to the ground. So I went to Punta Gorda and I liked it. The only problem, I'm gonna tell you the truth, too many old people. Just too many old people. But I'm 48. I was like 30. Let's see, I would have been 15. So I was 33. I was 33 when I went down there. I didn't want to live with old people at 33. I want to live with people my own age. I do. I admit it. And I was in a mall in Punta Gorda, Port Charlotte Mall, whatever, and half the people walking around like 70, 75 years old. I'm like, I want to find a woman close to my age. I don't, so that's why I didn't choose living, staying around there. I like the area. People are too old. So, you know, I've been everywhere in Florida. I have. I've been everywhere in Florida. I went over the Miami area. I'm not into the Cuban or the Spanish scene. I didn't like it. I went to Cocoa Beach and Daytona Beach. They're dirty. They're run down. The only two beaches I will go on the Florida East Coast will be Jacksonville and St. Augustine because I think they're the cleanest, because I think it's south, any beach south of St. Augustine on the Florida East Coast, I call used, abused, old news. It's just you too used up, too stinky. I want the Port Canaveral and smell like an outhouse. I mean, if you have rockets blasting off for years, it's gonna do some damage. Okay. And I just thought it was all dilapidated. Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach. I went to Palm Beach. It did look. It's like I went to the rich areas where they have all the big houses. It's kind of stupid because there's nowhere to walk. They got these hedges everywhere. It's so dangerous to live there. And then the house is like I'm more of a guy where I want more property. I want more property. I'm more into the property than the house. We went to Palm Beach, and like the house was bigger than the freaking yard, man. There's no way I would ever pay any money to live there. I thought it sucked. We were driving around, you got the big hedges and everything. I thought it was terrible. It was like if you're claustrophobic, you're definitely not going to want to live there because those hedges are so high. It's like you're in a big freaking maze. I hate that. There's no way you could pay me to live in Palm Beach. I'm telling you right now. But I didn't care at all for the Florida East Coast. Like I said, Jacksonville Beach. The only major city I like in Florida is Jacksonville. I like Jacksonville. See, like Orlando's a good place to visit. Jacksonville's a better place to live. You have better industry. You have no toll roads. Free to drive everywhere. Their beltway is at least finished. I mean, I don't know if Orlando's ever gonna get theirs done. And I could never live in Orlando. That is like the worst place to live. You got toll roads up the A. You got incomplete. Here's the thing: you get screwed. In Orlando, they can't. They charge you to use a beltway. It's not even finished. If they're gonna charge you to use something, they should have it finished. Okay. But anyway, I found out the last place I want to live in Florida is Orlando. That's the last place I'd ever want to live. I don't even want to visit there anymore because it's getting the only part of Florida I do like is like the if Central Florida, Mount Dora, that area is good. But anyway, but here me checking out Florida. But so I'm looking at a map. So far I've been to Punta Gorda, but just too many old people. I've been to the East Coast, just too run down. It's too run down. Anything on the Florida East Coast to me is just too run down, man. And so I'm looking at the Panhandle. I look at the Panhandle as the last place. You never really hear. Everybody. Because I was a suburbanite this time. I was a Midwestern suburban. And I was like all the other Midwestern suburbans. I believe everything everybody told me. I believe what I saw on TV. And I had the brainwashing to me in the suburbs that they could, the redneck Riviera, and I'm like, ew, I'm a suburbanite. Ew, I'm a suburbanite. But I looked at the Panhandle. I'm like, I'm gonna go check it out, man, because I have a little of that in me. I think somewhere. I think I have my grandpa's Alabama blood in me. That like this tracks me to those places. So I go to the Panhandle. This was like 2001 was the first time I went over there, and that was back when the tourists really didn't know about most of it. I mean, it's really gotten out of hand in the last 10 years. With the tourists going over there. I call you shitbirds, not snowbirds. But see, here's the bad thing about tourism. Like here's the advantage of the problem with tourism is someone can come into your like restaurant, or they can come down and you know they can come down and commit a crime, or fuck shit up, and then they can go miles away and be safe in like another state far away. Where if you keep everything local, and someone like breaks a law, someone's messes something up in your place, he's easy to find if he's local. If he's a tourist, they can go back to New York, they can go back to Minnesota, California, and be safe miles away. So that's why I don't like tourism. When I do a place, it's gonna be members only. I have a campground I want to do. It's gonna be anything I do is always gonna be members only. I will never do anything for the public. I will never open a place to the general public ever. Because I learned that lesson here when I was in Ukraine. I go to a place here all the time where mostly it's all locals and everybody knows everybody and everybody's cool with everybody because they all know each other. Well, these two guys came down. I was down at this place by myself with this bartender I know. She's a real nice, sweet girl. But these two guys came down that had never been there before, and good thing I was there because I think they would have raped her. Because they didn't care. They didn't know anybody. No one, they didn't have respect for the place because they didn't. You know what I'm saying? When you go to a place, you're regular, you learn to respect the people. When you get these new assholes come in, see, that's the thing with the general public. You never know what you're going to deal with, and I don't like that. So when I do something, it's going to be members only. You know. And so, but anyway, I went over the Panhandle back in 2001, and like I said, this is before, I mean, the locals ran most of the stuff. There's a Big Bend region in the Panhandle. It goes from, where does it go from? What's that town called? Dang it, I can't remember the name. Uh, how's the name of that town? I can't remember. You'll see on the map. They call it the Big Bend. Um, Dang it. It stops at Port St. Joe. That's like where the Big Bend starts. Like Apalachicola, Port St. Joe, and but back then, there's a town called Parabella Beach, Florida, which still is probably the most desolate beach in Florida. It's white sand, it's nice, but but even back then, no one knew about this beach. Any given day during the summer, to be like 10 people. It's a freaking gorgeous beach. And it was a hidden gem, put it this way. And I remember I went over the beach. I'm taking a walk on the beach, and I never seen a dolphin before. I see this big thing jump out of the water, a big old dolphin, like just tons of dolphins everywhere swimming. And I was the only one seeing it. It was me and one other guy on the beach. We were watching this big dolphin show for free. Who needs to go to SeaWorld? Who needs to go to SeaWorld? I mean, it was way better than SeaWorld. It was free. It was a better show. And so I asked him what there is to do around here. He told me about a place called St. George's Island. So I went over there, and like back then, the locals ran everything. And it was real cheap. A beer was like you go to Harry A's. They had local bands play. $5 for a freaking pitcher of beer. They had a Buccaneer Inn. They had a nice hotel on the beach, or on the beach, like $50 a night. You had a nice room on the beach. They had, I mean, every night there'd be bonfire parties on the beach. People having beer parties because it was local. See, when you keep it local, you can do that stuff. Because when someone messes up, someone does something bad, you can find them because they're locals. When they're tourists, they can go far away and be safe. And see, that's why it was cool to keep everything local, and it's cheaper when everything's local too. And but it was a blast back then. And like I remember I went back in like 2004 when the tourist industry found the island, and like they built like 200 rental homes in 1 year on the island, and they had a cool beach club up there. They tore it down, put up three ugly beach houses, and now a pitcher of beer was like $15. A glass of beer is like $5. These then you get all these assholes that move in and want to change everything because you got a bug up their ass. And pretty soon you could there was no more bonfire parties on the beach, no more beer parties, no more dogs, And now it was like it turned touristy lame. It started to get back to being cool though. It's kind of getting back to when it was cool. Like they had the Harry A's, the place, and now they finally did it where after a certain time, anyone under 21 is not allowed in because I'm tired of kids at the freaking bar. I'm tired of seeing kids at a freaking bar. You're a dysfunctional family if you have a kid by the bar. It's like, there's an old saying. It's like when you look at people, don't judge them by the clothes they wear, judge them by their actions. I used to work at this one beach that was real expensive. It was like all millionaires, and they're the most dysfunctional people on the planet. It's just that, if they wear the right clothes, drive the right cars, people look at them differently. Like they can get away with being scumbags, but just because they have nice clothing on, just because, they act the right way, people like don't really look at them. They don't look at how screwed up they are. They got these. I guess you call them upper class suburbans. I'm not a suburban anymore. See, I've turned to 180. I hate the suburbs. I hate anything to do with the suburbs now because I had a chance to go out and experience for myself. But I lived in Mississippi, Alabama, and that's where I am now. That's where I have a feeling that's where I was supposed to be. And it wasn't my choice to move to freaking Ohio or Minnesota. That wasn't my choice. If I could go back in time, I would have stayed in Alabama. I would have been born in Alabama. I would have stayed in Alabama. Anyway, I think I'm gonna cut this short. I'll come back later when I'm maybe cleaned up a little bit. Maybe you could probably get tired of looking at my ugly mug. So I haven't lifted weights in like 2 months. I've been in Ukraine, and I'm freaking out of shape. I usually lift, but I'm in Ukraine. I'm here to find a woman, because I've been alone for a while and it sucks. And I hate to say, you need a good woman. I mean, I have a lot of things I want to do, but I can't do it without a good woman. I came over here, I found a good woman, good young woman. She's younger than me. She's changing my life. I can change her life too. I'm gonna make her better. I'm gonna change her life. I gotta put a little weight on her. She's a little thin. Put about 10. She needs about 10 pounds on her. But I mean, I told her you're gonna, she's like, what she did is, like we use an interpreter. We gotta use a translator, to communicate. And she's like, but she's been teaching me some new things. Like I never drank coffee before. I don't like drinking coffee. I still really don't like drinking coffee. But I drink it with everybody. Still don't like coffee. I don't like, it makes me. I don't really don't like it. But she explains like, oh, how she changed my life, and I corrected her. I go, you didn't change my life. You added to it. You added to my life. You didn't change it. I still love I still love Bama barbecue. Still love Bama rock. My friends, I have a lot of good friends in Bama rock bands, which I'm kind of just I'm you know like out in Bama, what I hear is going on. Like my one friend, I think like the best bands in Alabama right now in Bama, the best Bama bands right now I've heard, Jonathan East, Southern Boys Band, and Cotton Box Road. And it's been a bad, it's been a good and bad year. The bad year is one friend's band, Cotton Box Road, they broke up February 20th on my birthday, and I hope they get back together because they're going to be missed in Alabama. The Cotton Box Road guys, listen to them, damn good music, good guys, good bunch of guys, no attitude at all. Southern Boys Band, same thing, no attitude, good bunch of guys, very talented. Southern Boys Band, Southern Pride. Jonathan East. I mean, I love, my Alabama buddies. I mean, they're just Bama brothers. They're good people. I mean, and now they're having this Florida Georgia line pop country rock crap coming to, I think, Decatur to do a pop country rock show. And, some things are better left untouched. Stay out of Alabama, okay? They got enough places to go. To me, a true Southerner is someone that doesn't, he's modest, keeps to himself, and his friends. He doesn't broadcast what he does. Doesn't have a big mouth. That's what a true Southerner is. He doesn't like the limelight. You know, he doesn't sell out. A true Southerner doesn't sell out. Okay. And it's Florida, Georgia. Go play in Florida. Go play in Georgia. It doesn't make any sense for you to come to Alabama. Okay, I don't like their music. I listen to it. I don't like it. I really don't like it. It's pop. I don't like pop music. And that's what they are. They're pop country. So I didn't like that. And I was hoping Cotton Box Road was going to stay together because I was going to throw a show on with all the local bands of Alabama. Because everything in this country in America is just being smushed into one boring thing. But anyway, if you want, check out their videos. My other friend's band, Automag, Paul Quinn, good people, good talented musicians. They do it the old school way. They love what they do. They all have real jobs. They're all real people. They're all hardworking people. They're all good guys. And that's what I like about the South. True Southerners. See, the problem with the South is, most people from the South you meet you don't like are from the North. First of all. Like a lot of these guys I met in Alabama are from California, and they lived in Alabama for like 30 years, and you can still tell they still not Alabama. There's only two ways to be from Bama: is to either be born or have had kin born there. These two guys I've known, I could tell they lived in Alabama like as long as they lived in California, but you can still tell they were Californian at heart. They didn't belong. They doesn't matter how long they would live in Alabama, they still wouldn't belong in Alabama. That about do is for this edition of, I don't know what you're going to call this. I'm going to think of a new name, but right now you call me Blabberman. I'm going to call this, like I said, vlog. This is my flog. This is my flog. Bama Man flog. Look at me. Ain't I pretty? I gotta get back and gotta get the weights there, and been 2 months. They always say it's what is it when it comes to lifting? It's hard to gain, easy to lose. Hard to gain muscle, easy to lose it. That's true. Okay, well, I guess. But you know what? I found a woman. I did something. I got a woman. Got a Ukraine woman. You'll see her. I'm gonna put some more videos up now. I see how easy it is to do this. I'll put some more videos. So I can get on video some more. But you'll see the other video. You'll see her. We're in a car, and I'm going, hey, and she's behind me. That's my woman. So okay then. Well, okay. Then. Alrighty. Well, when I get back, I'll be smoking. I'll be smoking butts. I'll be smoking pork butts, Alabama style, Bama barbecue. I'm gonna call my place, my business. I bought a big motorhome, big bus, big old 40-year-old, 77, a big old 39-year-old Holiday Rambler. Paid about $2,500 for it. I'm gonna put 2 smokers in there. Wood charcoal. It's the only way to do it. Fuck gas. Fuck electric. Charcoal wood smoke. It's the only way to do it. Do a wood grill. I've got the whole thing planned out. I'm gonna call it Butt Wagon Barbecue. Bama Butt Wagon Barbecue. The B list. Have you ever noticed all the fun stuff in summer begins with the letter B? Bands, booze, bourbon, beer, bonfires, bikinis, beaches, boobs, butts, bellies, bands. It goes on even farther. Beaches. Barbecue. It all starts with a letter B. B is the official letter of summer, man. The official letter. Burlesque. Booty. That's so. Anyway. But I want to do a campground. That's my initial goal. Members only. Actually, what I want to do is I go to this place here in Ukraine. And I want to do one in America. It's a hunt club they do. And I want to do the same thing in America, but America. It's a place I go to all the time. And I want to do one here. I want to do one in America, in Alabama, Mississippi. And I want to do them by like hunting grounds for hunters. I want to make them members only for hunters. Hunters only clubs, I'm going to, have hot looking women dressed like savages, You know, like barbarians. And that's what I want to do, man. That's what I do when I get back. And I do. And I want to turn it into a big campground. Members only. Members only. Miss Bama country. Mississippi, Alabama. Miss Bama country. And I want to do a Miss Bama contest. A Miss Bama contest. In the contest for it'll give you women, they're going to hunt. They're going to fish. They're going to drive. They're going to drink. They're going to learn. They're going to smoke. You know, it's going to be a total Southern Miss Bama contest. I want to start that up. And I have a new idea of how to of playing football too. So anyway, I'll talk about that stuff later. Okay, Blabberman, blabber.